So here's a quick overview of the OG Raid Helper for raid leaders to quickly and easily organize their raiders for each encounter in a dungeon. The first thing you need to do is import your SR data into the Roll4 add-on. OG Raid Helper uses this data so it knows which players are signed up in which roles, making setup quick and easy. Once you have your data imported for Roll4, click on the main menu and select Invite so you can see everyone and the roles they selected. After this, you can click on the Encounter Planning button and select your raid and encounter. In this case, we're going to go ahead and set up Nax. While you do not need to be in a raid to do this setup, I am currently inside of a raid so I can demonstrate the announcement system. If you right-click on the Auto Assign button, it will use the Roll4 data instead of the people that are currently in your raid. So you can see here, if I click Auto Assign, it only fills in 2 of the roles. If I right-click on Auto Assign, it fills in based off the people who are going to be in the raid at the time that we're going to actually raid. You'll notice here that it only filled in 1 Mind Control Priest. That's because I have this configured to only use ranged DPS priests instead of healers. But since we don't have enough, we can easily just drag Adelie from the guild roster. I know they're going to be at the raid, and there we have a full configured event. Once we get to the raid and we want to tell people what to do, we can click the A button up here, and it announces that Mind Control, or Fake Donald and Adelie, Star, Circle, Diamond, and Triangle are tanked by Droob, Leo, Tank Me, and Fren. Quick and easy. Now let's look at a more complex encounter such as the Four Horsemen, where we have to have different healing groups and different rotations. Here you'll notice that each group has 2 tanks, each healing group has 3 healers. If you'll notice here that the Druid healers and Priest healers are prioritized, but they're all just healers in the end of the day, so it doesn't matter who actually gets assigned to them as long as there's a healer there. You right click on the auto assign, it fills this in. It left this tank empty because I have this field set up to not prioritize anybody and to not pull from the default pool of tanks. The reason for that is we typically don't use more than 1 tank on Thane. If you wanted to add a second tank here, you could go ahead and configure it the same way I did this first slot, or you can go back and set the entire role to use tanks as its default. If you notice here, we've got Droob, Fren, Kamikaze. Say you don't like how that is, you want Fren over here, you just drag and drop and you move them. You'll notice that our healers are prioritized as we wanted. We don't have a 4th tank over here, so we'll go ahead and drag in Noose Herbs. And now we have our 4 tanks. And you'll notice here that we don't have the Druid and the Priest. Instead, we have a Paladin and a Shaman. Like I said, if you don't have the right players, you can put in anybody who can do the healing job. This makes it to where it's quick and easy to assign things. You hit the announce button, and it uses the announcement system to tell people what their jobs are once again.